60 minutes to crown the 60th Super Bowl champ. Off we go. He's trying to step up. He lost the football. It's free. Seattle has recovered. Darnold to the end zone. Barner's got a touchdown. The first touchdown of Super Bowl 60. One of the best defensive performances in Super Bowl history. Seattle reigns above them all in the NFL. The Seahawks, Super Bowl champions for the second time.
Welcome to episode 18 of Film Never Lies, a Super Bowl recap. I am fresh off the plane from San Francisco. I'll be honest with everybody, it was much warmer weather-wise in San Fran. Did not love coming back to the snow, but we've got better things to talk about, and that is the Seattle Seahawks, your Super Bowl champions. And I'll say this, the MVP of this organization right now has got to go to John Schneider. Listen, the stuff that John Schneider is able to pull off is quite frankly unbelievable, and you got to tip your cap to this whole front office. It just, the balls it takes. And let's talk about the politics of being a front office guy in the NFL. There is a crazy amount of pressure put in from the media of what you should be doing, how it should be done, and quite frankly, it's unfair, and that's across all sports. But now you look at, fan favorites as well. It's very hard to be that guy in the front office who wants to move off from a fan favorite. It really puts your neck on the line because if things don't work out, the fans will be calling for your job. I look at John Schneider in this front office right now, and I think to myself, what they did is truly remarkable. I believe he's the only GM right now who has won 2 Super Bowls with nobody from the first Super Bowl on the roster. But let's go into some of the offseason trades. And I'm going to go all the way back to the Russell Willson trade. And I want you to look at this graphic. This is insane when you think about it. So you see 2 Denver. Obviously, Russ is the big piece here. 2 Seattle. Drew Lock, who left but came back. He's the backup quarterback. No offense, no longer there, nor is Shelby Harris. However, the draft picks they got, are you kidding me? Charles Cross just signed a massive extension, starting tackle for them. I had Devin Witherspoon as potentially the MVP of the Super Bowl. Derek Hall had a couple massive plays, sacks in this game. Boye Mafe has been a great contributor to this team. The fact that they have guys from this trade, especially given the situation with what's happened to Russ's career, what a dominant trade. And again, I want to put you in the mindset here of how tough it would be for him to move off a Super Bowl winning quarterback like Russ and a beloved guy in the area. Clearly, Seattle won that trade. Now let's go to a couple things a little more recent, and we're going to kind of dig into these things. But let's start with the DK Metcalf trade. Another star, guy you drafted, big personality, beloved by the fans, and let's see where this one landed them. So you'd say, okay, if you're looking at this graphic right now, DK Metcalf and a 6th-round pick to Pittsburgh, 2 Seattle, 2nd-round pick, 7th-round pick. Okay, Luke, what are you talking about? Well, let's see what happened with that 2nd-round pick. We'll go to the next graphic. They then traded that 2nd-round pick with the 82nd pick, Seattle did, to Tennessee to move up, and it was used to select Nick Emanwari, who at the moment looks like he's going to be a 10-year guy and an all-pro eventually. Also, Emanwari couldn't have fit Mike McDonald's system any better. He's a DB who's also playing linebacker for them and had a tremendous season. DK moves on. Sit there, you go, okay, what is our front office doing? Well, clearly they're doing the right thing. Now you look at even the Geno Smith situation. And I know that this was also kind of driven from Geno, it sounded like. Both sides were not happy with each other. But the Geno Smith-Sam Darnold situation clearly worked out well above average. So to recap, just some parting with fan favorites here, John Schneider, you trade Russell Willson for picks, which turn into Charles Cross, Devin Witherspoon, Derek Hall, Boye Mafe. All 4 guys, huge parts of this team. You traded DK Metcalf to the Steelers, and used that pick to trade out for Nick Eamon-Warry, which was an unbelievable get for them defensively. You traded Geno Smith and signed Sam Darnold. You released Tyler Lockett, signed Cooper Kupp, and then in the middle of the season traded for Rashid Shaheed. Again, like, I love the Seahawks roster. I love the story of this team. Obviously, I played for the organization. John Schneider drafted me, so I am, I guess, biased to some degree, but this is Hall of Fame shit. Straight up. This is Hall of Fame front office moves. To be able to do what he's done, and once again, I'll reiterate, move on from fan favorites. Don't care what the fans or the media pressures you. Potentially put your neck on the line if any of these things don't work out. And they consistently hit to the point where you have 14-3 season, you are the 1 seed, you walk through the playoffs, and you dominate in the Super Bowl. The only team that really gave these guys fits was LA, who had the best offense in the league. I can't stress enough how important it is to have that as part of your organization. If you're not a Seahawks fan and you're wondering like what it's going to take, I would implore you to look at your own front office. You always hear me talk about X and O's from a coaching staff, and I think everybody's talked at length about how great the defense is with Mike McDonald. Their offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, just signed to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Clearly, Tom Brady, who's kind of running the ship over there, thinks a lot of Clint Kubiak, and I also believe that, as Gary Kubiak is a tremendous influence across the league with his offensive schemes, all coming from that kind of Mike Shanahan tree. But if you don't have the front office guys to mirror it up and fit the system and get you the right guys, what are you doing? And once again, I think Seahawk fans, you got to say, like, to me, John Schneider right now is if he's not already in, he's in conversation for being a Hall of Fame GM with this win this season. The fact that he's got two completely separate rosters with two completely separate coaching staffs, and now two completely separate Super Bowl rings, I can't say enough about what this front office has done, and to me, they're the MVP of the organization. That being said, now let's go into some plays from this game. We're going to start with the offense. Kenneth Walker, I mean, was dominant, and this kind of set up, some of these things set up the A.J. Barner touchdown, which we'll get into in a sec. But to me, when we play this here, he gets basically bumped into the backfield. We're going to block down at tight end and left tackle, and you're going to pull the left guard here. Watch Kenneth Walker get, again, we're blocking him, but we're hitting the backfield. He's got a bubble, and then you get this burst where he gets to the edge. I mean, just the vision there. He breaks a couple tackles, the speed, the elusiveness. Again, it's a great job by A.J. Barner here, but we're blocking down at the left tackle, down at 88 A.J. Barner, and then we're going to try and pull around with Gray Zabel, and it's a good spill here by New England. And when you watch this, once again, he gets bumped right here, makes a little jump cut, gets the edge, makes one man miss, makes another man miss, and that's that. So now on this play here, I want you to watch, this is Saubert coming in motion. Now, this is a big thing Seattle did. Your 12 personnel, so 81 and 88 are your two tight ends. And they would motion one of them consistently and run different forms of run plays here, kind of give them different looks. But Saubert holds off the backside. It almost looks like you're running a wide zone, but it's actually tight zone the other way. So, again, you see Saubert come across here, but it's tight zone the other way. It's a great job at right tackle. You win at center. I mean, and then that little move right there, he's just setting guys up, gets, again, helping his own lineman, boom, dumps inside. We gashed this thing. Unbelievable job by Kenneth Walker. I thought he deserved the MVP. And again, a little motion here. You've still got your two tight ends. This time it's Saubert and Arroyo. Arroyo's going to go back. And I want to say this isn't well blocked by Seattle, but the speed by Kenneth Walker here is phenomenal. What I mean by well blocked, look at this. So we miss at right guard, we miss at left tackle, and then our tight end, 18, coming back, we're actually looking to kick out here. So imagine being Kenneth Walker in this situation, being like, what am I supposed to do? And I love Arroyo here because he keeps working. I'm talking about number 18. And because he keeps working, he creates an edge, boom, gets on the ground, gets a piece there, and Kenneth Walker bumps outside. Not how you drew it up, but there's your MVP. So now you say, okay, how does that play into the A.J. Barner touchdown? So we look at this A.J. Barner touchdown now, and I want you to watch the New England Patriots defense. So here we go. So we had a bit of a hard time lining up here, but you watch A.J. Barner go in motion here, and he's going to release to the corner, but it's a run fake. It's 1st and 10. They've had a ton of success running the football. Watch the second level. That's the 3 linebackers for New England bite on this run. Just watch this downhill play. All 3 of them. And that's how you get wide open. And you got to tip your cap to Clint Kubiak, and we'll get this from the end zone angle here. So here comes Barner, comes across the 3 linebackers, right? Look at that. Look at that. Again, you're setting things up all game. You jump off the ball, they're expecting runs. Sam goes, yep. Don't get much more easy than that. Little scissors concept. You slot right underneath. A.J. Barner has a big one. I thought that what was the biggest concern for me in this game was going to be the coaching staff of New England. You know, you got Josh McDaniels over there, Mike Vrabel. These guys know how to situationally coach games. One of the most criminal things that occurred was when it was 19-0 Seattle, New England gets a touchdown, and they kick an extra point and go 19-7. I'm sitting there and I go, in what world would you not go for 2 there? You've struggled all game, and theoretically, I'm thinking you're not going to score that much in case you haven't been able to figure this out. So you go for 2, get 8. You hopefully get another touchdown, get 8, and now you're a field goal away. If you miss that 2-point conversion, you're at 6. What's the difference? Again, you're still going to need 3 touchdowns. I was shocked, and you could see how rattled they were that they would miss something so similar. And part of why they're rattled is because, 1, you couldn't stop the run, and then 2, you're getting plays like that drawn up where your guys are so focused on stopping the run. Clint Kubiak says, watch this. So, again, you got to tip your cap to Seattle. It starts to me with the front office. We talked about that, just the ability for John Schneider to go make these moves and for them to hit. Then your coaching staff, Clint Kubiak, Mike McDonald especially, to be able to scheme up and really dominate that entire game. And then it comes down to the players executing, and boy, did they ever do that. So just like that, you've got your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. And real quick, I figured I'd bring in the biggest Seahawk fan I know. This is Hound-Dog Harrison, who works on Jay's show. I've known him for a very long time, and he went to not 1 but 2 games, one of them being the NFC Championship. Hound-Dog, I thought I'd give you a brief moment here for the pod. You are the biggest Seahawk fan I know, and as you can imagine, I know a lot of them. I do know a lot of them. What did this year mean, being able to go to Lumen Field twice, especially in what looked like an unbelievable atmosphere in the NFC Championship game, and then watching that game? Just give me the general thoughts. How you feeling?
It's amazing that I was able to, that I hadn't gone to Seattle before that. Really crazy to, I've been watching this team for 25 years. I literally haven't missed a game in 25 years. So it's kind of crazy I hadn't been there at all to that point. But yeah, I went in November, the shutout of the Vikings, which was amazing. And yeah, like you mentioned, I went to the NFC title game. I had to go back. Now that I've gone there, it's happening. I'm going to be going to plenty of games, I'm sure. I have to do it, right? It's like I said, it's wild to think I hadn't gone there before, which is ridiculous, but it's the best. The fans are great. The city's incredible. Everyone was unbelievably friendly, and yeah, it's just amazing to be able to see a Super Bowl and to finally put to bed all the the talk about losing to the Patriots 11 years ago. It's pretty special.
Hound-Dog, how do you feel about John Schneider? One of the things we talked about earlier in this pod is just the job he's done. As a fan, do you appreciate him more now than ever?
I think so, because when they got rid of Pete Carroll, I was sort of like, I don't know, I love this guy, he's done so many good things for the organization, and they got rid of him. And I remember that press conference, he was like, well, John, you're going to see how it is now, bud. And almost in my way I took that was it's not going to be easy. You might struggle here, pal. That's the way I took it anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. But for Schneider to be the only GM to win 2 Super Bowls with completely different rosters, sandwiched in the middle of 4 or 5 draft classes that weren't very good, actually, it's kind of amazing that he was able to have that incredible early career success, sort of lose his way for a while there in the middle, and then to come out on the other end of it with another Super Bowl title. It's amazing. And yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't as much as I was confident in Seattle, I didn't see a Super Bowl win this year, realistically.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. And especially as dominant as they were, 14 wins, one seed, 2 of the 3 playoff games, they absolutely dominated. Pretty impressive showing by Seattle and John Schneider in some unbelievable trades and drafts. So, Hound-Dog, I got a feeling you're going to be back next year, and I got a feeling Seattle's got a shot to run it back.
And I think so. I think I might have to go to the first game of the season, right? Like that seems like a given. I've already looked at the schedule. The Mariners play that same day. I might have to go
there
to
it is.
Mariners, then the Seahawks game. It's already a thing. So yeah, it's gonna happen. It almost guaranteed for sure.
Love
and yeah,
love
I think
it.
Seattle's a great chance.
Love it, Hound-Dog. I appreciate you joining, and we'll stay in touch soon. For this week's top 5, we're going to go to my social media, which has been a little active today. And it's top 5 things that can help the CFL continue to grow in the right direction. As many of you know, the CFL has been very, very stagnant from an online viewer standpoint for many years. I think they're down somewhere around 33% from the all-time viewership numbers of 2009, 2010 for the Grey Cup. And I have a pretty good passion for Canadian football at all levels. So this should be my top 5 presented by Yoder Smokers of things that can help the CFL. We're going to start with number 1 and number 2. They're interchangeable. And that is the players need to go to the CBA, their own union, and renegotiate this 4.5-hour window. I'm going to misquote this thing because there's one day where I think it's 5, then they take it away later. And a lot of players I know do stay in the building longer, but in the CFL, there's a limit of how long you're allowed in the building with coaches on like mandatory meetings, practice, etc. Part of why that was because back in the day, there was no, legitimate salary, so guys would have second jobs. So they'd basically be like, hey, we can only be in the building 4 hours a day so I can work my other job. Back in the day, we're talking 20, 30 years ago. The minimum salary now, I think, is $70,000, and a lot of the players are making a lot more of that if you followed CFL free agency. The fact that its own union wouldn't want guys to have more access to their coaches is a strange one for me. And, if I was a player, I would want more access to meeting times, practice times, because I can get better. Again, I get there's a happy medium. You don't want to get abused time-wise. But my goodness, is that a strange one for me to hear. And then I said it's 1 and 2. With that comes the operations cap. So in the CFL, I believe the story I heard was that there was a Saskatchewan coach that basically said, hey, I'm going to run this league by getting 1 million coaches and making this like a very professional environment. And in typical CFL fashion, everybody else who doesn't have as much money as Saskatchewan complained. So they put a rule in that teams can only have a certain amount of operational coaches, people, etc. Again, just an absolute jam job and maybe the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I get you want an even playing field here, but the idea that this is a professional league that has a cap on coaches, and trust me when I say every team is undercoached because of this cap, is a crazy one to me. It's one of the most mind-blowing things of all time. So that's 1 and 2. Number 3 would be an off-season. And now this is one that I know it's a money thing, so it's not that easy. But the money situation, I think, bleeds into this, but there's no official off-season right now. And I point this specifically for Canadian players. A lot of Canadian players come from U Sports, which are extremely underfunded, especially football right now. Outside of a few schools, it's just tough sledding. They're not going to have the coaching staff, Americans would have, the facilities, the support. So if you're going to keep the ratio, which I love, you need to develop these Canadians. And me, when I was a rookie, my first offseason was incredible for me. And I'd say second and third year as well. And I thought every year was great for me as a player. But especially in those early years, you're kind of getting shaped to be able to have, for an example, it's going to bleed into everything, but our time in the facility in the off season was 4 hours a day. So similar to the NFL, or excuse me, the CFL's in-season time. and I'd go in there. You know, it was pretty structured on what we could and couldn't do. There were different phases, but I thought it really helped me grow as a player in the NFL. So that would be my number 3 thing, would be have some sort of off-season, especially for some of the younger players. Number 4 would be find out a way where the draft is more important, to make the draft more important. And this bleeds into number 5, which is the free agent world. In the CFL, there's a crazy amount of bouncing around, which I get why there is. I understand that. And there's got to be some sort of happy medium between the two. Because of the fact that free agents bounce around so much, I look at my guy, Kenny Lawler, who, by the way, is a GOAT. Unbelievable dude. Unbelievable dude. He's one of the best receivers in the league, and it's like he's gone Winnipeg. He was in, I believe, Edmonton for a year. Hamilton, who just had a phenomenal year with Bo Levi Mitchell and him in Hamilton. Like, rarely is that a guy of that caliber, is that happening in the NFL. Sure, guys move around, but like, 1, you don't let guys like Kenny Lawler walk. And 2, if he is let out of your building and another team signs him, you lock him up. Like, I think most CFL fans will agree with me on that we need to figure out some way where guys become more staunch figures in one community so you can buy those jerseys, feel good about it, and not be worried that he'll be gone in a couple years. And again, I jumped around, but that was number 5, and that kind of leads me into number 4 is the CFL draft. The CFL draft right now is, not the most exciting thing because it doesn't have a crazy effect on your team. It's obviously just for Canadians. I think there's a couple of loopholes where it's like if you're an American that played in youth sports. But also, you can go back to school, which, so there'll be, I got drafted in the CFL before I got drafted in the NFL. So it's like, okay, we got this kid out of Rice. I was drafted by the Argos. If you're an Argos fan, you want to get into this thing. Like, I'm not even exactly, I think sure what round I was picked in. Might have been 4 or 5. But it's like, oh, he's going back to school. Then he has to like try and go through the NFL, and then maybe we get him. Like, these things don't really bode well for an exciting product. So my top 5 this week, presented to you by Yoder Smokers, would be time in the facility, in season, operations cap, off season, especially for younger players, draft, and free agency. Those are 5 big things. I think if everybody got together between the union, the board of governors, figured out a way to hash that out, it would make the league better for everybody. And some exciting news. At the Super Bowl, I ran into Chris Streveler, and he and I got into it a little bit on the rule changes. He's a great dude. And here's a little bit of that conversation. Again, this is coming from you live at Radio Row in San Francisco, Super Bowl week. So first off, I got your boy Zach on a bunch.
My guy.
Full transparency, I was pushing him to come down here.
He should have been here.
He's got I think he's out east right now, like growing football in one of the maritime provinces.
Is he out doing the Jake Thomas Curling Classic right now? Is it the Jake Thomas Curling Classic?
I was told it's a football camp, but Jake Thomas might have jammed me.
It might have been. I'm not sure.
Guy.
Yeah.
So let me start with Zach. We get on the pod, on the show, a very analytical Zach, and off camera, it's been fun because even at the Grey Cup week, my personal favorite was, not him, I'm not going to say, but I had about 12 old fashions one night.
Sure.
And we just talked like greasy X&O ball.
Oh, man.
And he was like, I consider myself a pretty good X&O guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy's got me beating every facet. Is that what he's like in?
Dude, it is an awesome experience getting a game plan with him. Because, we would go in off day, and he's a mad scientist on the whiteboard. Dude, he's got 30 plays drawn up. I like this. And we're going back and forth a little bit. And, I learned so much being in the room with him.
Yeah.
I always tell him, dude, if you ever decide to coach, you're going to be an unbelievable coach. And if it's broadcasting, getting to share that knowledge is going to be awesome, too. He just needs to share that knowledge in some way.
I'll tell you, one of the toughest things he's going to have, because I think if he wants to, I think he's got a great future in broadcasting. He knows so much that it's like, how do you translate it to the general masses?
Right.
And it was fun, though, because even during the Grey Cup, we were freezing our ass off, sitting beside each other. And for me, this is me venting, I buzzed a lot of CFL film this year, and there'd be a lot of questions I have. I'm like, why are guys doing this? Like, offensively, this doesn't not that it's wrong, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Landmark stuff. And hearing a lot of what he said kind of vindicated, kind of changed my mind on some things. So it was a lot. I think I had a way more fun than he had hanging around me. I don't know if you've ever been around somebody like that.
I mean, you're learning from him. Same here.
So it was pretty electric. But let's talk. We're going to get into you here in a sec. But let's talk CFL.
Let's go.
How do you feel? Obviously, there's been a lot of stuff online. I mean, I've taken a pretty hard stance one way. How do you feel about some of the changes coming in the CFL?
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
It's still unique to a certain extent.
Yes.
But I love the game as it is. So I don't know if I necessarily saw a reason to change it, but if they think it's going to change it in a positive way, I mean, time will tell. So I like the game as it is. It's still going to be unique to a certain extent, and I'm excited to see how it plays out, honestly.
Yeah, I'm pretty fired up.
You like it. I know you do.
I like it a lot. I'll be honest with you. It's hard for me. The one that I'm, indifferent on is the 55-yard line.
Yeah.
And I want you to push back on me here a little bit. The other ones just seem like common fucking sense.
Here's my thing.
Let's start sidelines.
Yeah.
The sideline thing.
The sideline is a no-brainer.
Why are we doing
that? 1,000%. Things like that are
the
dude,
play
we go
clock.
out east, and I'm like, why are we on the same sideline? I got to jog 60 yards just to get to the huddle. What are we doing? This is crazy. So on those, I'm like 1,000%.
Yes.
The ones where I'm it's going to be interesting is the goalpost in the back of a 15-yard end zone.
Yeah.
I'm concerned that may take away some scoring opportunities. Now, I know their thought process is let's encourage teams to go for it more.
Yeah.
And so I get that. But right now, I mean, you cross the 55 and you got Sergio Castillo, you're getting 3 on the board.
Yes, but I hate that. I hate that.
But what about the returns? I want to see Janarian Grant have a chance to go 110.
So why can't he still do that? Because this would be so we're talking about a missed field goal. But, with the thing at the back of the 55, there'll be short field goals now. Now all of a sudden we're sitting there going, oh, what if Buddy's short?
But it's hard to play both sides of that card because now we're incentivizing teams to go for it. So if it's on the fringe, they're probably going to go for it. They're not going to have an opportunity to kick kicks that are short at that point, right? They're probably just going to go for it on the fringe.
Now, again, what about punting? So this would be my next thing. If I'm the CFL right now, I'm putting a rule in that basically, and if it was me, which obviously I'm a bit extreme with some of this stuff, I would basically say punting out of bounds. I think one of the Halo rules, one of the best rules CFL has.
I love it.
So I would actually take the kicking punting out of bounds, and I'd say it's penalized.
So
now we still get the returns, but it's on a punt.
So you're saying balls on the 35-yard line.
Balls on the 35. Let's do this. I love this.
The field goals at the
Producer
back of the end
Rob's
zone.
laughing because he hears me gripe about this all the fucking time.
So the ball's at the 35-yard line.
Yes.
We're back 7 or 8 yards. So let's say now we're at the 42. The goalpost is at the back of the end zone at 15. I mean, we're kicking a 57-yarder. Most CFL kickers can't get it there.
Yeah.
So
we're punting, or you're going for it.
So you're punting from the 35-yard line?
The big boy ball now.
We're not punting from the 35-yard line.
Why not?
We got to go for it.
Great.
But what if it's 3rd and 12?
Punt.
You're punting from the 35-yard line?
Why?
I mean, I guess that's all you got, right?
Punt. Dude, and especially, first off, the Rouge is still alive for a punt.
Yeah.
So you got the Rouge.
So, I guess
special teams matter.
Yep. In the CFL, special teams matters more than the NFL.
It'll matter more now. Because if you're punting from the 35, I'm like, in punting, in punt returns are one of the most electric plays in the CFL. Sometimes.
So you're thinking so you want teams to just punt it out of bounds there? Or
no,
try
I'm
to
saying
pin
you
them?
punt out. This would be my personal thing. If you punt out of bounds, it's a penalty on the punting team, and the ball goes, 45-yard penalty. I want teams put it on the 45.
Okay,
put it on the 40. I want teams to punt the football. And again, to me, it's like if the punting, which everyone says the Halo rule, is one of the best parts in the CFL.
Yeah.
As much as hey, missing kick returns or field goals, they rarely happen. That rarely happens in that league.
We had, how many did we have this year?
How many?
At 3.
For touchdowns?
At least 2.
So you had 2.
That's massive game-changing plays.
Yeah,
we won 2 games off that.
You have 18 games that happened twice.
Just on our team.
Yeah, there's not many. I'm telling you. There's a stats guy line. You're talking it's minuscule.
But, a couple times a year, those are electric plays that I think make the CFL very unique.
But now, don't you think you can replace that with punts?
But, no one's going to crib a punt from the 35-yard line.
Why not?
Because they're going to punt it 1,000,000 miles in the air, and there's going to be a halo around him. He's going to get tackled for a 2-yard gain, I think.
It sounds like you need better special teams then.
I mean, I think if you're punting from the 35, I'm going to sky it up there. I'm going to let my guys get around him, and we're going to tackle him. We're just going to try to pin him as deep as we can, which I think that's there's going to be some strategy, and that's going to definitely happen in 3rd and long situations. If you're on 3rd and fringe, and it's like 3rd and 4, 5, 6, you're probably just going to go for it in that situation, right? Like,
which sounds fucking electric.
And I
want to see Zach Collaros out there. I don't give a shit about the kicker.
I could not agree more.
No disrespect to kickers.
Yeah, no, I could not agree more.
You like that?
I want to see Zach on the field.
Yeah, 3rd and 4.
I want to see Bo Levi Mitchell. I want to see Nathan Rourke running around doing crazy stuff like he does.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see that, but I also I like the points too.
Yeah.
And I like the return kick. So that's why I'm saying I see both sides of it, and I'm interested to see how it's going to play out and how those specific, like, fringe red area, field goal zone, like, how is that going to kind of play out for the league?
I think it'll be fun even from a branding standpoint.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad, it'll be fun that everyone's interested on how it does play out.
Yeah.
What about the last 3 minutes?
Yeah. So what's happening with the last 3 minutes? Are we keeping it the same?
It's the same.
I love it.
I was really upset about that, man.
You're upset they kept it the same?
Yeah, I think that
I think it opens the game up.
How? Like, this is what I find.
I mean, I've been on both sides of it, right? I've been
57 minutes. You're down 21 points. You should lose the game then. I'm sorry, dude.
I've lost games like that. I've lost games where we're up 14 points with 3 minutes left and we lose, dude. And we've won games like that
for sure.
So to me, I think it's just like what I don't like about the NFL is the knees, man. Like, just run the clock out. I think it keeps it exciting through the very end, and it's like, well, there's kind of a chance here.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that is I like the play clock that they're changing now.
Yeah.
The automatic play clock.
My hope was, which they didn't do this, my hope was that they kept the rules as is.
Yeah.
But they also kept the play clock. So I don't mind. You know how they stop it, that whole shebang? I'm like, to me, with the 20 seconds, like, it's a 2-3 down league.
Yeah.
So I'm like, keep the 35. It becomes a minute 10. So, yeah, theoretically, instead of being able to kneel with 40 seconds left,
right,
you can kneel with a minute 10.
Yeah.
So there is that. But I think that the thing, like, and I know you've played in both, the American game, I like 2-minute drives when you're down.
Yeah.
Bro, we're up here. It's chaos. Yeah, you're making calls as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey,
forces communication.
Giving signals. Push the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Push the ball down the field. Push the ball down the field.
Right.
Where I'm like, so I thought it was a miss where I'm like, the CFL has the opportunity because of the 3 downs to have the best of both worlds.
Right.
That's where I was.
Because you can, in a way, sort of dink and dunk when you're stopping the ball after every play, and it's like
dink and dunk.
I can take 6. I can take my hitch.
Correct.
There's not that sense of urgency to be like, all right, we have, because in the NFL, you take the field, you've got 1 timeout, no timeouts, down 4 points. You have to get at least 2 chunk explosive plays to even have a chance to go win that game. And so from that standpoint, I definitely see what you're saying, but I like that it keeps it somewhat open.
I thought they had an op to kind of. To me, there's a needle to be thread.
Yeah,
where it's better because no one likes the knees. But I would like to see more pushing the ball down the field.
Yeah.
That's a personal one.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see what you're saying there.
Yeah. But anyways, let me ask you this now. Do you have any fun Zach Collaros stories? Doesn't have to be football related. Give me one good one about our guy, Zach.
Oh,
Give me some dirt on this guy.
I don't know if I got any dirt on him.
No dirt for me?
I mean, off the top of my head, man,
Nothing.
I just love hanging with him, dude.
That's how you know that Zach is an OG, because Strevy has something on him, but he knows he won't sell him.
So
out.
let me show you something. I'll show you something. So, dude, we went over to his house one night, and again, we're all about the team rock, getting out of the building, hanging outside the locker room, and he introduces this gambling game called In Between. I don't know if you've ever played In Between.
I've lost a lot of money on In Between.
So you can lose it will ruin. It will
fucking jam me,
dude. It will ruin you.
I hate that.
You think you've got a queen and a 2? Cakewalk. You hit the post, you're doubled up.
I was just gonna say the goddamn post.
I was down $1,000 at one point. Had to scratch
you
and
start
claw.
with a buck.
Dude, I think we were doing $5.
Dude, we started with a buck, and I don't even want to tell you how much money I lost.
It gets on you quick. Because that pot grows and grows. We were using
prick.
like, all right, my hat is $500.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So so he introduced us to that one night, and I mean, we probably played till 3 a.m. I mean, I'm texting my girl like, I'll be home in 30 minutes. 2 hours goes by.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still trying to claw my way back in.
So, well, for anyone listening, again, I haven't played this, but it was In Between. A pretty simple game.
I mean, they
literally have a deck of cards. Dial one out. Dial the other one out, and let's say it's a king and a 9. You can either say pass, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Or
so like you can
pot.
Yeah. You don't have to pot. Like, let's say it's a
Pot is yes.
Pot would be okay. Whatever the pot
thing.
is. Let's say it's $50.
Yes.
It's a queen and a 9. All right. I probably wouldn't go pot. There's not a huge chance the card that is flipped over next will be in between a queen and a 9. So maybe I throw $5 in.
Yes.
I flip over the next card. It's a 10. It's in between. Bang. I take $5 out. So where you get got is, let's say it's a 2 and a queen. Great spread. Bang. I think I'm gonna hit pot.
You do the whole pot.
I go pot. $100 in. It's outside of that. Let's say a king gets flipped over.
Yeah.
All right, bang. I have to go the whole pot in.
And now the pot now becomes 200. But the caveat to this thing, which is fucking ridiculous, is if you hit the post.
Yep.
So we had one. I'll just say
Double it.
Okay. We started with $1, and every time you start going around, now the pot's $1. It's $2. It's $4. The pot's growing. We had a pot that was $4,500 in Seattle.
Yep.
I came up with an ace and a 2. And I'm like, well, I've won the pot. I have won $3,500.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm out.
This is U.S. dollars as well. Unfortunately, I yelled pot like a fucking jackass, and a 2 came up. And a post is double the pot. So now I have to put $7,000 into this pot.
Yeah, that's 10,000 Canadian.
The next guy was Jacob Holster, a friend of mine. He got a similar situation, called pot, and just took all fucking, which would have been at that point $10,500, and I just sat there and went, that's a very tough beat.
There is nothing worse than hitting the post and just feeling the silence of the room. Everyone's just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
If I can paint the scenario for you, too, we won the division that year and lost to the Rams at home in the wild card round. Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, we just won the division. We felt like we could make a playoff run. We got fucking wiped by Aaron Donald, Sean McVay.
Yeah.
And I think it was the next day, I'm like, oh, man, I'll just go hang out with the boys, say bye to everybody, and I'm $10,000 lighter.
It doesn't make it feel any better, I'll tell you that much. That's not going to help with the sting.
Yes. Okay, so let's go this. We'll end with this. We love doing top fives here, and I'm just throwing out top fives. Top 5 favorite teammates you've had in CFL.
Oh, my gosh. Dude, that's a great question. Okay, Zach's definitely
Zach's
on
up
that
there.
list.
You don't have to do 1 through 5.
Zach's all time.
Yeah.
Man. Drew Waltarski, one of my best friends.
Really? Okay.
I was the best man in his wedding.
Yeah, I love
Dude,
that.
we played in college together. We were roommates in college.
Yeah.
I come up in CFL 18 and 19. We're on Winnipeg. We win a championship together.
Yes.
I go down to the league for 4 years. Come back. He's still on the team. So we've been together 3 different stops on our journey.
Pretty
I've seen
epic.
him in college. I've seen him become a dad.
Yeah.
So we've grown a lot. Man, Stanley Bryant. All time.
I've heard this.
I've
heard this.
Big. I call him Big Unk.
Yeah.
That's Unk. I mean,
I've heard this.
He's pushing 40. I mean,
Yeah.
he's dyeing his beard black.
I love
it's
that
not,
for him,
yeah,
though.
he's got
I've never
some
met the guy, but I've heard great
guy.
things.
Patty Neufeld.
Patty Neufeld.
All-time guy.
Seems
CFL
like a legend.
Legend. Man. I'm going to cut so many guys out here. I don't even know where to
You
go.
want to just leave 5 empty, so if anyone says, oh, you can say, hey, this guy's 5?
I mean, Jake Thomas.
I met Jake at the Grey Cup week, man.
Yeah.
Seemed like a legend.
He's another CFL legend. Chris Kolinkowski. He was our center this year. We
I
spent
met Chris
a lot of
as
good
well.
times together.
I met all the Winnipeg boys there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I
you know
could go
who I
on and on.
liked?
Dembski.
Dembski was who I was going to say.
I love Demmer. That's my guy.
Yeah. Dembski
Brady. I'm
seems
tight
like-
with Brady, too.
I didn't really talk to him much.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy, like, stolen valor. Like
you'd
we're
love
boys.
Demmer.
The small amount of time I was around him, I felt like we would get along.
Totally.
Could be wrong.
Demmer is he's all about the boys.
Yeah.
And again, it was so interesting, man, when I left the CFL in 19.
Yes.
Came down here, and then I go back to Winnipeg 4 years later and
Yes.
seeing, like, all right, Dembski's a dad. Patty's a dad. Like, all these guys that have, like, we were kind of kids when I was up there, and then everyone's kind of grown up and matured. I got a kid now. So it was kind of cool, like, seeing guys mature and grow up and then getting to join back with those guys and go after it.
When you made that switch, what was the biggest shock for you, or was there any?
I think, honestly, it was easier for me to transition from the CFL to the NFL than it was college to the CFL because it's such a different game, dude.
Totally.
12 guys on the field. It's so you're going from a fucking 3x2 to a 1x4, and defense
Totally
is
agree.
changing. So it was hard for me to learn how to read defenses. I got thrown in the fire, so I picked it up.
And the defenses in the CFL are it's tough in the CFL. They're dropping 9 fucking guys.
I mean, we're dropping 9, double cut, and now everything's like match based.
Yes.
They're just kind of reading routes and running
Yes.
with stuff. I mean, that's what we were doing in Winnipeg, and a lot of teams are. But for me, one of the biggest shock factors was like Larry Fitzgerald's my teammate.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt's my teammate. here's all these guys that I grew up watching, and now I'm on the same team as them. And it was cool for me when I ended up making the Cardinals the first time. I go into the facility, and no one really knows. Cliff had kind of sat down with me and told me I was going to be the backup.
Yes.
But no one really knows, and he told me not to tell anyone, so of course I'm not going to mess up my opportunity. I walk into the facility. There's Larry Fitz eating breakfast, and gets up from his table, walks over to me, shakes my hand, says, "Hey, I just want to be first one to congratulate you making the team." And just, moments like that was like, as a guy that's just in the NFL, was so surreal. And, I got so many stories like that, getting to be in the room with Aaron Rodgers and going out with him.
Legend,
dude, legend. And he, side note, he gets kind of a bad rep in the media for whatever.
Not from this guy.
Because dude,
Sir Rob knows that.
Behind closed doors, I mean, he is an all-time teammate. He's taking guys to the movies. He's taking guys to dinner. I went to see a Broadway play with him. We saw Wicked. I mean, all-time guy.
I've been trying to tell the people at TSN this.
Keep pushing it, man.
Listen.
Great guy.
Just because the guy likes to huff a little ayahuasca doesn't make him
nothing wrong with that.
Just makes him a bit strange.
Just opens up his mind.
Yeah.
He's just seeing things
Lay
on a different level.
Fucking guy.
Come on.
Yeah,
all-time teammate.
I agree.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know him, but we've had Jimmy Graham on the show. Me and Jimmy are very close.
Oh, they're buddies.
He speaks very highly of Aaron.
Yeah.
So I always trust what Jimmy
Dude,
has
Jimmy
to say.
Graham's doing some interesting stuff now too. Didn't he just
He's the most interesting man in the
paddle
world.
across the world or something?
He did rode across the Arctic Circle with a couple.
How do you even start doing that,
dude? You gotta understand, like, Jimmy Graham. If this is my favorite Jimmy story, when he got to town, our practice facility, it was gorgeous in Seattle, but it was right on Lake Washington. Unbelievable facility. It becomes a bit of a car show. Especially for some of the guys that are getting a bit. And the guys would joke like, "Oh, somebody showed up with a Lambo. Somebody showed up with this." Jimmy flew his fucking plane in.
Lands a little seaplane on the. Unreal.
No, dead ass.
Unreal.
Legit,
dude.
He'd be out there Friday practice. Boom, he'd land his seaplane. Okay, and then you see him out there roping it to the dock. And put his backpack on, just walking in.
No reason to do that. Just a different guy.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he flies his own plane.
And I respect guys like that.
It's also really interesting because everything about his life is very curated.
Yeah.
Where it's man, I actually bought this plane here and restored it and there's historical value in it. He took a Huey from Vietnam and built it back up. He's got a Huey.
I love stuff like that because
he's got a fucking Huey.
It's unbelievable.
It's insane.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's the best, dude. Yeah.
That's the best thing about football, man. You meet so many characters.
Yeah.
You meet so many interesting guys that.
Tell me about your time with Kingsbury.
Dude,
we talk about X and O brains. He's considered to be one of the best guys.
Dude, I love being in his offense.
Yeah.
He is so creative, and dude, this guy grinds tape. I swear, I think he got in at 3 a.m. Dude.
That's how they all. Yeah, the best ones all do.
Someone said that he watched every single touchdown from college football and every single explosive play throughout the league every week. And so, one thing that was really unique with our offense was we were all no huddle spread signal, and. I mean, the things that he would craft up in the pass game just from watching tape and come up with these little one-word plays. I mean, we'd have 20 one-word plays that were just kind of one-offs for the week, and it was just hey, we're going to call this play Demon Deacons because Wake Forest ran it against Vandy and they scored. And it was what?
That's the most American. I'm with you. I didn't play for Kingsbury, but they come in and be bro, we're calling this play Lowe's Lounge. And you're
right, what? What?
It's I saw it on my phone while I was walking through Lowe's.
Right. It's how does that help me remember the play? It's but man, I love playing with him and just getting to be in that offense and learn. And the up-tempo stuff was very similar to what I did in college.
Yeah.
So I like doing it. And actually, funny story about Cliff is I've been rehabbing in North Scottsdale where I live. Dude, I walk in the gym one day, 7 a.m., take a piss, turn around. Who's the first guy? Cliff Kingsbury. So I've been seeing him for the last 3 weeks, just kind of chopping it up with him, seeing what things are looking like for him moving forward. And,
what a legend.
Yeah, great guy, man. Very easy to talk to, and got a lot of respect for him.
Love it. Well, Strevy, I appreciate you coming on Film Never Lies.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait to text Zach, tell him we got you on. Man.
I'm going to text him too.
Can't wait.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
So with that, we're finishing up episode 18 of Film Never Lies. For some of our regular listeners, just want to give you a heads up. I got a 7-on-7 tournament to coach this weekend in Pittsburgh, the next one Detroit, and then I'm heading to Spain for 10 or 11 days. Little vacation. We'll probably be back sometime in March. I appreciate all the support this year, and we'll talk to you soon.